That's been interesting. Giz, I know you had a couple points that you wanted to bring up on this podcast. You wanna take us away?
So basically, obviously, as you guys know, on this day, 6 years ago, sorry, Arsenal ended their trophy drought. We won the FA Cup. 9 years wait. And then on this day, in 2006, we also lost the Champions League final.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
So, yeah, on this day, which I found that out today as well. So I was just thinking, so it kind of sums up our club.
14 years, isn't it?
Sorry?
Is it 14 years?
14 years, yeah, 14 years.
How many years did you say?
I didn't say any years.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say any years. No. But, yeah, I was just thinking it kind of sums up our club. Like, very successful team, but we wasn't... Do you know what I mean? We didn't go for the highest honours. So I was just thinking, I remember speaking to you guys and we were comparing ourselves with Chelsea. And then I remember we were having a little discussion about you guys were under the impression that you believe Chelsea is bigger than Arsenal.
Yeah.
And then I objected. Of course I will. And the reason why I objected, I just want to start this discussion again, but the reason why I'm just going to say why I objected is because Chelsea are a very successful team, but I feel like if we I don't know how you guys are basing it off, but I like to base it off everything. So if we're basing it off everything, obviously we've won more trophies. I know Chelsea have won the Champions League, but prior to 2004, before Abramovich came, what were Chelsea really on? Because I don't like to be that type of spectator where I just look at a certain time limit. So I'm looking at from 2004 to 2020. 16 years, we can't compare ourselves to Chelsea in them 16 years. But football is not just about them 16 years. Football goes back until way back, innit? Like from the 90s and that. So do you guys not like include that as well when you're basing who's the bigger team or the bigger club?
For me personally, I'll speak for myself. If we're gonna go off trophies, then numbers don't lie, innit? If we've won more trophies than Chelsea, then we've won more trophies than Chelsea. That is it. Like I can't even argue that point. But the way I've just seen football within probably my lifetime, since 2004, 16 years of my life, Chelsea they've been a bigger club than us. Like I honestly believe they are the biggest club in London. And Champions
I think it's subjective.
I think, yeah, it is subjective, but I think European honours have a big part to play in that. If we can do whatever we do, but if we're not doing that on a European stage, that's an indictment on us. Chelsea won the Europa League and the Champions League back to back. No club's ever done that. Do you know what I'm saying? There's just a winning mentality at Chelsea, and I just.
Do you know what? I'm not disputing that, Ade, but it's just that. Why is it from 2004 to 2020 that makes you feel like they're the biggest club in London?
It's the bias. It's the bias because that's what I've seen.
Which is fair enough. Yeah, which is fair enough because that's what you've seen. If that's what you're going off, that's fine. But I'm just yeah, okay.
It must be because historically the numbers don't lie in it. I can't argue numbers. If we've got more trophies than them, we've got more trophies than them. That's it. But Steve, you said it was
because sorry, just to interject quickly. The reason why I think about this quite a lot is because that means the next generation, say if we just start winning again, we're all of a sudden going to become the bigger club in London again. So I'm just trying to think, at what point does it change? Is it when you start winning again? Or is it when you look back at it at history? I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah, you are.
It's like, for example, Liverpool, Liverpool. Since, if you look at them since 2005 when they won in Istanbul to 2019, but don't include the Champions League win.
Yeah.
They had only won, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was the FA Cup and the Carling Cup in that period. Two minor trophies.
FA Cup 2006, Carling Cup
2012.
Right.
But let's have it right, yeah. We always understood that Liverpool were a monumental club, like they were a massive club. Historically. And also that goes down to their Champions Leagues that they've won as well. Yeah. But it also, it's history. So I feel like sometimes when we're looking at Arsenal, although we're not that great right now, it seems like our history doesn't speak for us. And I just don't understand why. Is it just because we don't have the Champions League? Or is it just because that we're just so bad right now? Because Liverpool are bad as well. They were finishing 8th on a calm team every single season. But it seems like we still always had that respect for them. But when it comes to Arsenal, it's a bit... That's what I'm trying to work out.
Liverpool still had that respect because of the Champions League, in my opinion. Because although we knew domestically they weren't doing anything, everyone feared Anfield Knights. Everybody. 2005, they're 3-0 down, and they end up winning that match. It's how can you not respect that? Arsenal don't do things like that. We don't. And as much as I love my club, and a lot of it could actually be just because I'm an Arsenal fan and I've seen so much pain that, you know, I'm just overreacting. I'm saying everyone's bigger than us, but that's how I see it personally.
I also think I also think part of it is because it's Arsenal. Like, first of all, on the original kind of thing, I think traditionally and historically, Arsenal are still the bigger club. But if you want to go off recent history, Chelsea are the bigger club, and they've been the biggest club in London, just based on everything they've won and you've mentioned. I feel like the reason why, especially in Nick's example with Arsenal and Liverpool, Liverpool seem to get the more respect. That is in terms of the Champions League. But I also think it's because it's weird, but I think it's actually a real thing. It's just the fact that amongst our peers and our friends and people in the football world, Arsenal are your rivals, isn't it? So they just don't seem to give us the same respect. Obviously, you could argue that Arsenal fans are a bit. To be fair, all the big football bases are very chirpy. Like United fans are chirpy, were chirpy. Chelsea fans are chirpy, and all of that. But I feel like because of that, and like especially with United fans, you hardly see a United fan actually like give Arsenal their credit. And I feel like the rivalry just kind of plays a part of it. And I can give you an example. Obviously, I think last week it was one of the days. It was when Arsenal on this day Arsenal became invincible. Throughout the whole of last week, I saw so many people like diminishing what the Invincibles done and all this stuff. And realistically, like I was thinking to myself, if this was United that done it, I'm not even saying add more wins.
You know the difference is? We hold on to that Invincibles thing like it is the biggest thing of all time, and I'm not even trying to diminish it. Steve was saying it, the way we parade being invincible, it's.
But you know why we do that?
It's one of a kind though. That's the thing is, it's one of a kind.
No, I get both. I get you, Ifan. I get Steve. The way we parade about it is a bit childish. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's like
I'm embarrassed.
It's like we wait for it to come around every year, just so we can say, on this day we went invincible. Because that's all we can.
I saw admin take out the L in our name and make it because no L's or something like that.
What are we doing? L in our name and in every L that was in our bio.
We're 8th for the moment, you know. Currently in this season.
But the thing is, you can't. But the thing is, like, you can't. I don't even blame. I didn't care whether they done it or not. Yeah. But you can't really like criticize them for doing that because, like, for example, look how the United fans acted when they did the Paris comeback, like last year or the year ago. I'm not even trying
but they don't talk about it no more.
They don't talk about that's it. It's done now.
Are you dumb? So every year, so are you telling me every year when the year comes around, they don't go on about it?
It happened last year.
Not really.
Yeah, Then I want like literally like the example is
how many times have you seen it plastered all over Twitter that night in Moscow? How many times have you seen that? You see it often.
I
don't see that often.
No, you
don't.
Be
honest.
I don't.
I don't see that often.
No, but
well, you don't see Invincible that often. You only see Invincibles pop up.
Bro, I literally see throwback pictures of Patrick Vieira, Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, Pires all the time.
You don't.
It was an era. It's done.
That's cat.
Bro,
that's catchy.
No. Follow Arsenal on Instagram.
No. Okay, no. Let me tell you. The only times you see it, and this is actually fact, is when it's the anniversary or when it's like been like a year on this day, or when the media have been talking about it's happened. Is you've seen it more often because the last 3 years, so this year and the last maybe not last year as much, but this year and when City went done the Centurions, they were close to becoming invincible. So obviously the talk was, can they be invincible? And because obviously that talk is coming about, people are always going to talk about the Arsenal being invincible. So it's maybe I don't know how good your memory is, but 5 years ago you weren't. Okay, not even 5. Let's say before City done the Centurions, you weren't seeing Invincible talk that much on the timeline as much. You just weren't. Like obviously, on the day people talk about it, and when they talk about great Arsenal sides, they bring it up. But I think it's brought up at the same extent as other things. And like back to my original point, I feel like if it wasn't Arsenal that went invincible, like if it was United, like people wouldn't belittle it as much. And like obviously I get it, and like,
sorry to interject. Do you know why? If it was Man United, they wouldn't really belittle it that much.
Because they wouldn't talk about it.
No, do you know what? They would. They actually would. But the thing is,
would.
it's because Man United have won several others as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
that's the difference. It's because
how often do we see them talk about the treble? They don't talk about the treble.
No, most of them weren't born. Or most of them didn't really see it live.
But even Man United as a club, like they don't parade the treble as much as
I
they
don't see their club
should.
legends talk. I see Sol Campbell doing. Oh yeah, I mean,
no, but bro, you might not.
Like, just shut up. Like, it's done. You're finished. You're washed. You're a manager now. Focus on getting your team out of relegation. I don't want to hear about Invincibles. It was great, fantastic.
But Steve, deep it though, deep it. We actually didn't lose a game. Like, I'm not even trying to champion the team.
It's great.
It's actually a mad thing. It's actually like we see how competitive the Premier League is. So when these players are actually looking back on it, they still watch football now and they think we actually didn't lose a game. Like, it's mad. But I get what you're saying. Like, we champion it too much, and I definitely agree with that. But if Man United were to do it, the reason why it would be accepted more is because they've won other stuff. Our last success was the Invincibles. Our last Premier League success was the Invincibles, and then we've only won 3 other Premier League titles prior to including that. So it's like, what else is there? We ain't got the champs.
I look at small detail. I just remembered another thing. When we were going to the Europa League final, we had our club. We had Lauren, Sol Campbell, Jack Wilshere doing like motivational videos. Oh, come on, lads, bring it home.
Okay.
I think Drogba did it. Oh, lads, let's win it. That's it. They won it. That was it. Did Chelsea talk about the Europa League final? It was so embarrassing. We had clips from club legends talking about a Europa League final. Chelsea. Oh yeah.
I feel like that was more like the media the marketing side of it, and I didn't like it either. Like, honestly, I don't
bullshit though as a marketing thing for Arsenal.
No, as in like it was Arsenal. I don't think I'm not like marketing and social media doesn't mean the media. I'm talking about Arsenal itself. They were just trying to make it bigger than it actually was.
Okay. Yeah.
But honestly, like I feel like the fact that it's Arsenal, it's not. I don't even think it's a hate that they hate or they're jealous. Like, they just don't like. They don't like. It's weird. It's so weird. I feel like Arsenal, like Arsenal don't.
They're not Arsenal. They're not.
Like, I feel like people just don't really like Arsenal like that. So when we do have achieved something, they belittle it and stuff, and I feel like that plays a big part of it. Because it's just true. Because
sorry, I think we've drifted so much. It's back to my original question. Why do we? Actually, I didn't ask you, Efe. Actually, let me ask you. Actually, who do you think is actually the biggest club in London for you?
I think in recent history, you got to say Chelsea, but traditionally it's Arsenal.
That's my. Go on, Steve.
There's factors in it. There's what you've won, your commercial success as well, fan base. Stadium, you could say. Does that play a factor?
Yeah.
Location?
100%.
Maybe?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
London's
London. But so it's subjective. Like, my dad would turn around and say, yeah, it's Arsenal. Because Arsenal growing up for him, it's always Arsenal. Won league titles. Everyone. Yeah, do you know what I mean? But
that's my point, Steve. It's like, it's always going to be subjective to people because of growing up. But at what point do you see the overall picture?
That's the thing now, because Chelsea have caught up on a commercial level. You can say Chelsea. Before, it was Arsenal were a giant European club, but Chelsea have caught up now. Like, revenue is showing it as well. They're making a lot of money. They're doing a lot. They're massive in Asia. They've signed that deal with Africa as well. Yeah. What's the tire company? Is it Yanmar? Their sponsor.
Jan Hammer or something like that. Yeah.
Massive. They're making moves, so it's a conversation now.
I definitely agree.
I think it's more than trophies. I do think it's more than trophies. Steve put it perfectly. Like, it is a combination of different factors.